The movie opens at a towering corporate building, setting the stage for a late evening. Inside, there is Jennifer, a young woman wrapping up a long workday. The day before was Valentine's Day, and Jennifer had made plans to fly to New York as a surprise for her former boyfriend, but she was confused while she was texting him. Meanwhile, on the other floor, we see a man called Guy drying off after an accidental splash in the restroom. Preoccupied, he's intensely focused on something on his phone as he makes his way out. By coincidence, he steps into the same elevator Jennifer is in. The two are strangers, each lost in their own thoughts, until he strikes up a conversation. Through their conversation, Jennifer learns that the office will be closed for the next 5 days due to an upcoming holiday. As they chat, the man's gaze shifts to a peculiar drawing on the elevator wall, a boy seemingly trapped inside a box. Intrigued, he points it out to Jennifer, but just then, the elevator suddenly halts mid-journey. Guy quickly tries pressing the elevator's call and emergency buttons, managing to get the attention of a security guard briefly, though no assistance comes through. Both Jennifer and Guy exchange uncertain looks, shake hands, and face the camera, uncertain of what lies ahead. Both of them tried calling for help, but the lack of cell signal in the elevator blocked their efforts. Jennifer starts to feel anxious. She's on a tight schedule, needing to catch a flight to see her former boyfriend. Realizing they might be stuck for a while, the two begin chatting to ease the tension. Jennifer mentions her role as an account manager, while the man explains he's new to the company. Meanwhile, they remember there's an emergency exit on top of the elevator. Jennifer decides to give it a try, climbing onto Guy's shoulders to reach it. But her attempt is unsuccessful, leaving her with a minor hand injury. Hours slip by, and eventually, they exchange names. Jennifer mentions she's feeling thirsty, so the man offers her his water bottle. He also reveals a bottle of wine, a recent gift from a client. Afterward, with the building on a long holiday break, Jennifer realizes they might be stuck there for the next few days. Soon, she faces another challenge, needing to use the restroom. Embarrassed to do so with him around, Jennifer hesitates. Sensing her discomfort, Guy reassures her, suggesting she use an empty bottle for privacy. Jennifer finally agrees to use the empty bottle, and the man turns away to give her privacy. Once she's finished, they settle back into their confined space. To pass the time, Jennifer decides to add her own drawing, a girl, to the elevator's wall art. Hours continue to drag on, so they fill the time with casual conversation and games. Meanwhile, Jennifer asks if he has any close friends or a girlfriend who might come looking for him. He admits he has no one, and in fact, no one even knows he works in this building. Jennifer nods, sharing that her situation is a bit similar. She had been planning to fly to New York to surprise her former boyfriend. The conversation drifts on, and eventually, they open the bottle of wine he had with him, sipping as the hours tick by. Meanwhile, they're feeling a bit more relaxed, and even start drawing each other as a way to pass the time. During this, the man quietly admits he's held back one thing he has noticed her around the office before, and found her beautiful from the moment he saw her. Jennifer blushes at his admission. When they exchange their drawings, she sees he has drawn a strikingly beautiful portrait of her, while her own attempt at his likeness looks rather funny. Awkwardly, Jennifer suggests they switch topics, and the man proposes talking about something more personal, like a privacy thing. Surprisingly, Jennifer agrees, and they continue their conversation with a newfound sense of curiosity. As the conversation deepens, they begin sharing personal secrets and hidden fantasies. One thing leads to another, and they find themselves growing closer until they eventually become intimate in the confined elevator space. Afterward, Guy admits to Jennifer that he's developing real feelings for her, hoping for something more. But Jennifer pulls away, explaining that her heart still belongs to her former boyfriend, and that once they're freed from the elevator, they'll go their separate ways. Feeling let down, Guy had hoped for a deeper connection. When Jennifer insists their encounter was casual, his frustration shows. Trying to be transparent, he admits he hasn't been entirely truthful. He's not new to the office. In fact, he's noticed her many times, knows her late-night routine, and has been more aware of her than he initially let on. The man then reveals something that shocks Jennifer. He shows her his phone, which has CCTV footage of her leaving the building each night. He isn't just a fellow employee. He's actually the building's security guard, watching her daily through the cameras. Everything that happened, their time stuck in the elevator, the long hours spent together was orchestrated by him to get closer to her. Their accidental confinement was no accident at all. He takes out a key to the elevator, explaining she's free to leave if she wants, and with a flick, he starts the elevator again. Furious and feeling betrayed, Jennifer lashes out, accusing him of kidnapping her and promising to report him to the police once they're out. This threat stops him cold, and in a panic, he halts the elevator once more. A scuffle ensues as Jennifer tries to grab the key from him, but in the struggle, the key snaps. Now they're genuinely trapped with no way out. Enraged, Jennifer strikes him with her sandal, and he retaliates by shoving her down. The confrontation escalates until both hit their heads in the confined space, knocking each other out. Afterward, both Jennifer and the man slowly regain themselves. Jennifer, trying to make sense of the situation, questions why he's the only security guard around tonight. He explains smugly that there are actually 3 guards assigned to the building. However, he convinced the other 2 to take the night off. One of them, Teddy, had a date planned, so he took advantage of that and arranged to cover the shift alone. Hearing the extent of his manipulation, Jennifer calls him a kidnapper, which sends him into an angry, erratic spiral. Then he totally loses control of himself. In a sudden, unsettling move, he grabs Jennifer's purse and rummages through it, pulling out a shirt she'd brought as a gift for her former boyfriend. Then, he puts the shirt on himself, mocking her plans. Then, he orders her to open a second gift box she has with her. Terrified, Jennifer complies, revealing a cigar and lighter inside. The man lights the cigar, staring at her with an intense expression that makes her shiver, forcing her into silence. Meanwhile, Guy finally notices something about the elevator. The screws are missing. Realizing this might mean an emergency exit could be above, he climbs up to check, and sure enough, he discovers an exit that could help them out. The man asks Jennifer to help him climb through the emergency exit, promising to open the elevator from the outside once he's out. Jennifer, however, doesn't trust him at all and counters with a suggestion of her own. She'll go up first and convince him. Sensing she might leave him stranded, he's initially hesitant, fearing she'll betray him. But when Jennifer assures him they'll go on a date after they escape and promises not to call the police, he decides to trust her and lets her climb out. As soon as Jennifer is out with the help of Guy, she leaves him behind, ignoring his calls for help, instead insults him. Furious, he realizes he's been tricked. Meanwhile, Jennifer heads toward the building's exit, hoping to make a clean escape. But determined not to be left behind, the man fashions a makeshift rope from their clothes to pull himself up through the hatch. Just as Jennifer reaches the exit, he catches up to her and grabs her, letting her down. Both fall back into the elevator from the opening above. After a while, Jennifer regains consciousness first and quickly devises a plan to trigger the building's fire alarm. She lights some paper on fire, hoping the smoke will set off the alarm and bring the fire department to their rescue. Just as the alarm starts to go off, the man stirs, but Jennifer doesn't give him a chance to react. She overpowers him, tying him up to keep him restrained. In an intense moment, she takes a cigar cutter and threatens to harm him, making him plead and cry. Seeing his terrified reaction, Jennifer ultimately decides not to go through with it. Instead, she uses her phone to record his confession, capturing his admission of everything he's done. Now equipped with evidence, she plans to report him to the police once they're finally rescued. While tied up, the man reveals a hidden part of his past. He explains that he was once a successful manager, as he had mentioned before, but his life changed after a tragic accident. One night, during an intimate moment in his car, they accidentally drove off the road. He survived, but the woman with him didn't, resulting in his arrest and a 6-month prison sentence. Afterward, unable to find a job, he eventually became a security guard. He admits that he arranged the elevator trap, knowing Jennifer would likely never consider dating a security guard. It was his desperate attempt to get close to her. Meanwhile, in another part of the building, the other security guard, Teddy, has returned with his girlfriend for a quick tour of the premises. Glancing at the CCTV monitors, he notices 2 people trapped in the elevator and quickly heads over to help them. Teddy arrives and pries open the elevator doors, passing a manual key to the man inside so he can unlock it if needed. But the man insists he still needs help, luring Teddy into the elevator. Once Teddy steps inside, the man suddenly activates the lift, leading to a fatal accident. Jennifer, horrified by the scene, starts to panic, but before she can escape, the man knocks her unconscious. He quickly hides Teddy's body and locks Jennifer in the trunk of his car. Then, to cover his tracks, he heads to the CCTV room, where he deletes all recorded footage of the night's events. While there, he encounters Teddy's girlfriend, who had been waiting nearby, and tragically, he takes her life as well, to eliminate any loose ends. With his grim plans still in motion, the man drives to a remote, deserted area. He steps out of the car, pouring gasoline into a nearby trash bin and preparing to set the scene. His true sinister intention becomes clear. He plans to burn Jennifer alive, ensuring no trace of his actions is left behind. When he opens the trunk, Jennifer springs into action, catching him off guard with a surprise attack. She shoves him aside, quickly climbing into the driver's seat and speeding off. After driving a short distance, she slams the car into reverse, hitting him and sending him toppling into the trash bin he'd prepared for her. Then, Jennifer steps out, grabs the gasoline, and sets the trash bin alight. The flames engulfed him, and he became lifeless. The movie concludes with Jennifer standing resolute, having turned the tables on her would-be captor and escaping his dark plan. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.